Today, we are flipping the script on classic vision boards. Forget about plastering your wall with Pinterest-worthy goals that you may just feel a little bit out of touch with. Today, I'm going to be showing you why an anti-vision board might just be the missing piece to finding clarity and building your dream life. Intrigued? Let's talk about it.
I feel like a bird. You keep me happy, you give me deep. Ask me who my search.
I gotta say word, keep getting me what I'm looking for. I just gotta tell everybody, I don't wanna keep it on the low. Goddamn, I love her. I love her. Goddamn, I love her.
Hey guys, what is poppin'? It's your girl Twanaldn, aka whatever to be on the day, and I am back with another video. If you're new here, then welcome. We talk about everything glowing and growing on this channel, so if that is your vibe, definitely subscribe. And if you're a returning subscriber, I love you so much. Thank you for tuning in to another one of my videos. So today we're going to be talking about anti-vision boards. So if you're intrigued or you're the slightest bit curious, let's just dive straight into it. Okay, so what exactly is an anti-vision board? An anti-vision board is literally the opposite of a vision board. Instead of focusing on what you want in life, you're focusing on what you don't want in life. I know that sounds a little backwards, but let me land. It's all gonna make sense once you get to the end of this video. So sometimes when figuring out what doesn't align with you, for example, your vision, your goals, or your energy, can help you to become crystal clear on what it is that does align with you. It's kind of like clearing out the noise so you can finally hear what's true to you. So let's talk about why this works and why this might be something that you need to try, especially if the traditional vision boards haven't worked for you already. Half the time we're out here setting goals based on what other people are doing or what society thinks we should be doing. Big fancy house, car, dream job, whatever. But ask yourself, are those actually the things that you want? Are those your dreams? Or are you just following a script that was never written for you? An anti-vision board allows you to slow down, say nope, nah, that's not for me, I don't want that. So you can actually figure out what it is that you do want. For example, when I did mine, I put things down like not being in a career where I wasn't appreciated in, not being around people that drain my energy, not solely living paycheck to paycheck, and not having an abusive, unappreciated, lying ass boyfriend. Like, these were all things that I didn't want because these are my absolute non-negotiables. All of these were things I didn't want personally for multiple reasons, and I'll dive into a few so you guys can understand where it's coming from. So some of these will come from experiences that you may have seen or that you've gone through yourself. And for me, in my earlier years, I really thought I wanted to be in the healthcare sector. I was good at science and I've always wanted to help people, so why not go into healthcare? I soon realized, based on working in that industry as a student, how quickly people were getting burnt out, how unappreciative NHS staff workers were, and how like demanding it was. And don't get twisted, I don't mind a demanding job role. However, the way I feel like NHS staff were being pushed at the time, I just didn't want to be a part of that. And I soon realized that I didn't want to be in a industry where I wasn't appreciated, so I changed careers. I made that decision based on my time as an NHS student, and I just said no, this is just not for me. And on my anti-vision board, there and then I decided like, yeah, I need to be in a career where I feel appreciated. And I just feel like sometimes the NHS, well, at the time when I was studying, there wasn't enough recognition for NHS staff, so I left. Another example, as I mentioned, was the solely living paycheck to paycheck. I don't believe you should have one source of income. That's just me. If you are okay with that, then that's within your own. However, I feel like it's always good to have extra money on the side, especially if it's something that you love to do. And so I started multiple different businesses. Some failed, some I didn't make a single penny and wasted money and invested in it, but some of them I did. I started a graphic design business which brought me in a lot of money, and I was able to save, I was able to pay for certain extra stuff, lifestyle, and have some of the things that I have today because of that business. So again, I knew I didn't want to solely rely on my job because COVID highlighted how quickly people were, one, losing their jobs, and two, like when they were not giving people their full pay, how people struggled. I never want to be in that predicament in my life, so I decided that I cannot solely rely on my paycheck because anything can happen where I could lose it. Obviously, I mentioned the abusive relationship. I've never been in an abusive relationship. However, I've seen people around me be in very concerning and very questionable relationships, and I've always said to myself, I've never wanted that for myself. So I know what I want want in my partner. I want someone who's going to appreciate me, who's going to respect me, who's going to take care of me, who doesn't feel like it's okay to physically put their hands on me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I got really clear on the things I didn't want, which allowed me to figure out what I do want. Like, if you are looking for a partner, like, really think about the things you don't like in someone, or that you wouldn't want your partner to be like. Like, for example, you don't want him to be abusive, you don't want him to be disrespectful, you don't want him to be arrogant. Like, all of these things are a list of things that you don't want, so you know what you do want. So that means you want a respectable man. You want a man that's genuinely gonna love you for you. You want a man that's genuinely gonna appreciate you for you. You want a man that's gonna build you. Do you know what I mean? Like, build and invest in you, pour into you. You know what I mean? And girl, trust me, once you get clear on what you don't want / you're avoiding, you will naturally start to gravitate towards the things that you actually want. Again, you will figure out what you don't want in life through experiences. A lot of the stuff that I listed prior are due to experiences. We all know what we don't want in life. I know you have a list of things that you don't like. I know you have some traits that you don't want your dream husband to have. I know you have some things that, or certain jobs you do not want to work in. You like, it's like hell no kind of thing, and that's where you start. So now we're going to talk about how we're going to actually create this anti-vision board, and I'm not going to lie, it's very simple and very straightforward. It's going to literally take about 30 minutes tops, depending on how much you have to write. But this is how we're going to create our anti-vision board. So the first thing I'm going to need you to do is grab a piece of paper or a journal or your phone and whatever is available to yourself. I will be using my phone for this example, and you can do the same. I will be using the Notes app, because in the Notes app you can have like a privacy thing when you lock it and you have to unlock it with a pad. Because you're going to get really deep and honest in this anti-vision board, I would suggest doing that if you have an iPhone. However, if you have an Android, I don't know if there's anything similar that you could do, but you want to keep this private. You don't really want anyone seeing this, so try to write it down somewhere where you know you can keep it stored. So again, once you've like got your piece of paper or your journal or your phone, I want you to start writing down everything that you don't want in your life. And when I say this, I want you to think about the things that stress you out, that drain your energy, or that just doesn't align with you as a person now, or the person you are trying to be. So if it's easier, I would think about buckets in your life. So like maybe break it down into buckets. So think about your career, think about your relationships, think about your finances, think about your hobbies, think about anything in your life right now. So for example, if I was to do this with you guys right now, I'm going to be completely transparent with you. Certain things that I don't want in my life right now is I don't want people that drain my energy. This is a big thing for me because I feel like I'm a very spiritual person. I go off energy. People who just have bad vibes or just bad energy or just mad negative or like mad closed-minded, like I get it, some people are realist, which I don't have a problem with. My boyfriend is like that. However, he's not negative about it. Like he doesn't talk down like people's dreams and stuff like that. I hate those kind of people. Like just because I'm ambitious to try something, it doesn't mean you should come over to my side and project your scarcity mindset, if that makes sense. So that's a big thing for me. Another thing I would say for myself, I'm gonna give you 2 examples. So another thing that I don't want in this life is I don't, and my boyfriend already knows this, so even if he watches this, he knows, I don't want kids before marriage, so outside of wedlock. I don't believe in that. Even though my parents are not married, I just feel like there's a certain standard I set for myself and that I want my kids to have. I would really prefer to be married before I have kids. Can I control if me and my husband get divorced? No. However, that doesn't mean I shouldn't desire to be married, and I would like my kids to see that, you know, it's, you know, both their parents are together. That's my ideal in my head, and obviously I'm going to work towards that. So again, really just write down everything that you don't want. Like get honest with yourself and make this full list, and really be honest with yourself. Like I think the key thing is to be honest with yourself in this. That is going to be what really helps you to point you in the right direction. So for example, using the 2 that I have put down, I don't want to be around people that drain my energy, which means I need to start surrounding myself with like-minded people. It means I need to start being around positive people. It means I need to be around people that are open-minded, that dream big, you know, that don't belittle my dreams or that speak negatively over me. I just have to remove myself from those people and put myself in environments where I can be around those people. With the second one, I don't want kids before marriage. So what does that mean? It means, which I've already had a discussion with my boyfriend, but it means having that discussion with my boyfriend, letting him know what it is that I want for my life, and is he on the same page? Because if we're not both aligned, where we both want to be married before kids, then is this relationship really making sense? Do you know what I mean? And these are the kind of things you need to start pushing to yourself. So say for example, I didn't like the career I'm in now. I want a more, let's say I want exciting / creative career. So like construction is not really a creative industry, so that could kind of mean me tapping into something like content creation, or you know, graphic design, or video editing, something that may draw, or art, or maybe something that brings more of my creative side, marketing, bringing out that creative side to me. Do you know what I mean? Like literally whatever it is that you put on this list, this is gonna then be taken and you're gonna flip it. So whatever you don't want, you flip it to the opposite, and that's basically what you do want. After you've got your full list, like I have done in this example, you're then gonna want to get some pictures. This is optional. You can go either or way. So you can create an anti-vision board where you get all the images of the things you don't want and put them on a vision board, so you can visualize like, okay, cool, this is definitely what I don't want in my life, and so that it keeps steering you away from that. However, I don't know if I would want, me personally, want a negative vision board that I look at every single day available. I think the list does it enough, especially if you've really honed in on this list. But what I would think of considering is then going down the traditional vision board route. So once you have the list of everything you don't want and you flip it to the other side, so for example, I don't want to be around people that drain my energy, which means I want to be around more positive minded people. That means on my vision board I might put like, you know, 2 friends together, and like, you know, they look like they have a good healthy friendship relationship. Do you know what I mean? Like that is how you can then start to build obviously a more traditional vision board, but you've based it off what you don't want, if that makes sense. Obviously on the vision board, I've got a separate video where I've kind of spoken about how to go about designing a vision board, so I'll link that down below. But just include images, phrases, anything that resonates with what you've written down here, and keep this log, keep this private, because at the end of the day, like, you've been very vulnerable for yourself, and I feel like that's one thing that's not promoted in today's society. So definitely keep that log, definitely keep that private. That is something that for you. And if you ever feel like you're getting unclear where you're with your visions, go back to this list. Like go back to why you started testing out maybe a different career, or why you started, you know, exploring this job or this kind of relationship, because you wrote down the things that you don't want. And as you go on in life, there's going to be most likely more things you can add to that list. Add it until you really know what it is that you want for yourself. And once you're like really clear on what it is that you want for yourself, this anti-vision board will no longer be needed. It's more for those who are like struggling to really figure out what it is that they want, and they need to be like steered in the right direction. But once you're very clear on what it is that you want, you won't need an anti-vision board. You can just create the standard traditional vision board and go from there. The last thing I kind of want to talk about is that there will be a shift in your perspective when doing this. So once you've laid out everything that you don't want, you'll start to notice a pattern. For example, if you hate the idea of being stuck in a 9-to-5 that you don't love, that is your cue to start exploring new career options that you're a bit more passionate about. Or for example, like myself, if you don't want to be surrounded by negative people, this is the time for me to start setting more boundaries and maybe surrounding myself with a different set of people. Your anti-vision board isn't about just saying no. It's about creating space for your yeses. So there we have it, the power of an anti-vision board. And I hope someone found this helpful or useful, or you can take some bits and bobs of this video and apply it to their daily life. If you have ever felt lost or unsure of what it is that you want to do, or the career you should go down, or whatever in life, I really feel like this tool will help you to at least get you started and start to point you in the right directions. And I know some of you may comment, well, but what if I go down this path and it's wrong? You're not going to know until you find out. A lot of things you know you don't want now is from experiences that you've been through in life. So kind of take it like that and go down that pathway. But I also want you to remember this: knowing what you don't want in life is just as important as knowing what you do want in life. So if you're ready to start creating a life that is more aligned with your current self and your future self, start with an anti-vision board today and let me know how you get on. And of course, if you have found this video helpful in any way, definitely give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and definitely subscribe to the channel, especially if these kind of videos are your vibe. And actually think about sharing this with someone who needs more clarity in life. So what did we learn? Comment down below one thing that you are going to be putting on your anti-vision board if you feel comfortable enough to share. You don't need to go into loads of detail. It can be very surface level, but I am dying to know, to see how you lot are getting on your journey, and I'm here to support you every step of the way. But if you're not already, definitely follow me on my TikTok and my Instagram, because I post on there every single day, whereas on YouTube I only post on here once a week. And if you want to get to know me behind the scenes, definitely follow me on Snapchat. And as always, stay growing, stay glowing, and I will catch you in my next video. Love you. Bye.